As you see, I'm broadcasting from lovely Beverly Hills in Los Angeles, reading the Angelino magazine here at the hotel. Pardon the background noise, but just like any major city, you're going to have background noise. I wanted to do a video because I get a lot of email requests and questions, and they ask the same things. But one of the questions that keep coming up is, what does it take to be a successful sports bettor for a living? Now, while most people will purchase our syndicate information for adding to their bottom line, trying to use it as an alternate form of sports investment, such as the stock market, they want to branch out and diversify. What does it take to actually not do it as an alternate form of investment, but actually you do what I do, which is do nothing else for a living but wager on sports? So I'm going to give you 3 tips on what you need to be a professional sports gambler, and it's going to have nothing to do with sports tips. First of all, is you need to have the right platforms. You need to have the right access to all the lines. As everyone knows that follows me on the various social media, I work out of the Don Best offices in Las Vegas, Nevada. You are not betting a game, especially when you take away MLB and hockey. You are betting a point spread. I repeat, you're not betting a game, you're betting a point spread, which is why some of the sharpest players make their money betting both sides of the same game. Perfect example in a football game is you grab -2.5 and you grab +3.5, you grab -6.5, or you grab +7.5, and you're impartial. You're just trading a number. What's the odds that that game is going to end on a field goal? What's the odds that game is going to end on a touchdown? So you want to be looking at just like you would if you were trading stocks to get the best possible value. You want to get the best possible number if you're on the dog side or if you're on the favorite side. So step 1 is always get the best number. Now, if you want to transfer that to baseball, we're at the All-Star break today. It's Monday, July 10th as I do this video. You want to look for a 10-cent or a 5-cent line because wise guys and the sharps predominantly bet dogs in baseball. So if you're working on a 20-cent line, you're getting back less money on the comeback that you would otherwise receive. And a lot of times it's not about winning more games, it's about getting the extra cash. Think about an extra 10 cents on every win or an extra 15 cents on every winning, just because you're getting a better line on the dog side. They like to raise up the favorites and shade down the dogs, and if you're a square, you won't understand the difference between getting 130 back on a game or getting 140 or 150 back on a game, but that adds up at the end of a season. So again, get the right platform, have multiple outs, have the ability to be checking the lines. The second most important thing to be a professional sports bettor is, what are your goals? What are you trying to achieve? What's a legitimate return? A legitimate return is somewhere between 3% to 10% a month on your actual core capital. So what that basically means is, while I wager in Vegas and I'm dealing with people that are bringing cash to the window, if you're wagering with credit and you have a local credit bookmaker, you need to act like you have cash at the window. A lot of times we get clients, they call the office and they're small bettors betting 50 to 100 a game, and their local bookmaker is giving them a credit line of $1,000 a week. And then it resets every Monday, as you know, if you're doing that. And then what happens is that on the reset, people question, I don't have a lot of money, I can't bet a lot, I just bet 50 to 100 a game, my bookmaker gives me a credit line of $1,000 a week. I always tell them to take a step back and look. Step 2, be properly funded. Because if your bookmaker is giving you $1,000 a week in credit, what he's doing is he's basically giving you a $52,000 a week interest-free credit line to run a wagering business and try to make a return on that capital. Now think about it. If you were to go to the bank and you were going to try to get a $52,000 loan, you're going to have to pay interest. What your bookmaker does is he gives you that, but he gives it to you in a weekly manner. And so therefore, psychologically, you're looking at where you stand on Saturday and Sunday to determine if you're going to pay or get paid. So step 3 is to wager with cash, even if you have credit, and not worry about weeks losing and weeks winning, because the long-term winning is more important. You could have a losing Saturday and a losing Sunday, and because the week ends on Sunday, you're going to owe your man money for the week. And if you start changing your wagering, and you start changing how you wager based on emotion, not information, because it's the end of the week and you're trying to get even because maybe you had a beginning of the week that was down, you will never make that return from 3% to 10%. So I have clients that have $500,000 that they're trading with. And if they can make 10%, think about it, it's $50,000 a month. That's some good money. If you are unrealistic, which is you think you're gonna make 20 times your money, 5 times your money, 10 times your money every month, that's ridiculous. I like to under-promise and over-deliver. But back to the tools of wagering as a business. Get the right numbers, be properly funded, and once you're properly funded, play on a cash basis. And that means properly funded by playing in Vegas with cash, having an offshore sportsbook account that's funded with cash, or the hardest thing to manage is somebody who has a credit line, because you have to separate the $1,000 a week from the $52,000 a year, and you have to find out what is the real cash the client has. I'll close this video with this short video with saying, if you have a credit account, if you have a local bookmaker that you settle up with weekly, ask yourself today, if you look at the credit line and multiply it by 52, do you have that cash? So if your bookmaker is giving you $1,000 a week, do you have $52,000 in the bank to wager with? And if the answer is no, then you have no business wagering any more than 2% of your actual cash bankroll. So look at what your cash bankroll is, not what your credit line is. And you too can play and win the same way professional bettors win week in and week out. Stay tuned, I'll have more videos. Come to thesyndicateinsider.com from lovely Beverly Hills, coming from the outside, coming to the inside. Enjoy your all-star break.